Hi, Fiona Lewis here from Super Savvy Business and welcome to this week's website Word of the Week. Today I'd like to talk to you about mobile and how important it is for you to start thinking about having a mobile website if you don't already have one. Now, why am I bringing this up? Well, did you know that the usage of internet through mobile devices is growing at an incredible amount? In fact, 1.5 times per year. By the end of 2013, it's expected that mobile internet usage will be as high as 20% of overall internet usage. And by the end of 2015, Morgan Stanley predicts that more people will be accessing internet via mobile devices than from a desktop device. Now, you might be sitting there wondering how this applies to you and your business. Now, if you have an e-commerce site, you might be wondering whether or not it's worthwhile having a mobile version of your e-commerce site. Now, I think a lot of the problem is a lot of people aren't shopping so much on mobile devices yet because a lot of companies are not making their websites user-friendly. If you were to be one of the very smart companies that are already doing this, I think you will find that your sales are likely to start increasing as you will start to gain traffic from people who are using mobile devices to shop. Now, if you don't believe me, perhaps you might believe the statistics that Google have released, which suggest that 35% of people have made a purchase using a smartphone. Very, very sobering facts to think about, aren't they? Now, if your site is not an e-commerce site, but rather an informational site, you might be concerned that people don't want to sit on their mobile phone and read page after page after page of long blogs or articles. Now think again. Now here's a stat you might want to consider. The New York Times says that a third of its website traffic is now coming through mobile devices. And that is the reason why they're investing so much time and energy into ensuring that their websites display properly and are very user-friendly from mobile devices. Okay, now let's get down to the techno-geeky side of what I'm talking about. What does this mean for you? You might say to me, well, Fiona, my website does display on mobile devices. Well, your standard desktop website may be displaying, but is it easy to read? Do people have to pinch and scroll to be able to read things or to click on links? If that's the case, then you don't have what we know as a mobile site. Now, there are a couple of ways you can go about getting yourself a site that is user-friendly for people on smartphones and smart devices. One of which is by having what we call a responsive website. Now, a responsive website is a website that will reframe and resize itself according to the size of the screen it's displaying on without reducing the size of the images and the text. It basically will respond to the size of the screen. Now, it does mean that if you're going to go down this path, you probably will have to have your desktop website completely recoded so that it is responsive. But once you've done that, that means it doesn't matter what type of device people are viewing your site on, everything will remain consistent, whether people are on a mobile device, whether they're on a tablet device, or whether on a desktop or a laptop computer. So yes, there might be a little bit more work to get yourself up and going with a responsive site, but well worth it. You might decide that you're really happy with your desktop device and you don't want to make some of the sacrifices that come with responsive websites, because there are some sacrifices as far as functionality and design is concerned. If that's you and that's your situation, then you might want to consider having what we call a dedicated mobile site. Now, this is where you have a site that is designed just for mobile devices. So what happens is if somebody is searching for your site or goes to your site from a mobile device, it is automatically detected, and instead of your desktop version loading up, a mobile version will load up. And it can be two completely different sites. Now, this is cheaper and often quicker to set up, but of course the downfall of that is that if you make changes to your desktop website, you also separately have to make changes to your mobile device. So there are a few little things that you might want to think about if you're going to have two separate websites. So there you have it. That's my message for today, and it's a very important one. I know you've heard me talk about mobile websites before, but I'm going to continue to jump on this soapbox because I still see so many business owners ignoring the fact that mobile internet usage is growing and increasing day by day by day. So don't be one of the businesses that's left behind and doesn't catch the wave. You don't want your competitors to get ahead of you. So think about whether or not you're going to have a responsive site or a dedicated mobile site and make it happen. That's all for now. My name is Fiona Lewis from Super Savvy Business, giving you the website Word of the Week update. Take care.